So as part of my Screw the Coronavirus, I'm getting out of my room adventure today, I've discovered the Xiamen Mountains to Sea Trail after spending hours trying to find it yesterday, but it wasn't a total waste. I found that there's an amusement park near my house, so that's never a bad thing. So basically we're going to walk a little bit of the trail today. This is where I started, point number 10, which is just off the X401, and I'm not sure how far I'm going to go today, but I want at least 2 hours of exercise outdoors today, so we'll see how far that takes me. I think I'm still on the trail. I have not seen any signs for a long time, which is worrisome to me, but I am beside, I guess this is a drainage ditch, but yeah, there's no railing alongside it, so it seems quite hazardous to me to have something like this. Anyway, I'm across from an amusement park, the name of which I have forgotten, but it sort of reminds me of Cedar Point, because just beyond that Ferris wheel is, well, not beyond the Ferris wheel, but we're looking at the ocean, let's put it that way. We're looking out towards the ocean, and there's a beach area as well, so kind of reminiscent of Cedar Point and Lake Erie. So I will keep going, and hopefully I'm still on the path. The signs that they have marking the trail aren't very prominent, so that's a little bit worrying. So yeah, I'm backtracking because I checked my Flight Radar 24 app, and I strongly suggest that you download it. It's a pretty cool app. What you can do is track every flight that's going on around the world. But something that I discovered is that you can zoom in on the map, and you can zoom in so far that you can see actual street names. Pretty cool. I looked the other day at where I lived, and it was pretty cool, and I was able to figure out where my house would be, is. But after consulting that map and consulting the picture that I took of the actual trail, I found out that I am off course, and I shouldn't have followed the sign, but they do have signs, and I'll show it to you once I come across it. But it pointed me up in this direction. I was going north, now I'm heading back south. I need to head west. But I'll show you the sign once I get to it. Not really thrilled with those types of signs because jokers can screw with them. Anyhow, I am backtracking. Hopefully I'll get on track, but not real thrilled so far, to be honest. So I found the sign. So based on this sign, you would either surmise that the trail was either this way or this way. Wrong. It's straight ahead. But if you notice, these signs are easily movable. So I think that Mountains to Sea Trail sign, instead of pointing south, it should be pointing that way. I would fix it, but I'm not tall enough to reach the sign. But I'm going to head up here, and hopefully this will take me further on into the walking trail. But yeah, I hate these kinds of signs, because if there's a strong wind they can move them, or some joker with a warped sense of humor can point the sign the wrong way. However, Island Ring Boulevard is south. Guan Yinshan Beach, which the resort I pointed out with the Ferris wheel, is in fact in that direction. But Mountains to Sea Trail, no, those signs things got messed up, I need to head west. So, westward ho. Yeah, I think we're heading in the right direction now. So if you want a handy guide of where to start on the Mountains to Sea Trail, just find Tapu Road on a map and go to the very, very east end of Tapu Road and start walking west. That's where it starts if you're on the east side of the island. In other news, is that a penthouse or the CEO's office? We'll never know. I'm assuming this is one of the mountains that they're referring to on the Mountains to Sea Trail. Xiamen seems to suffer from the same affliction that my hometown of Fort Wayne, Indiana does. They run out of names for streets, so they just use variations. I was on Tapu Road. Now this is Tapu West Road, and I'm sure that there's a Tapu Southeast First Road, a Tapu Southwest First Road, a Tapu Southeast Second Road, and a Tapu Southwest Second Road. I kid you not. My old neighborhood of Hongwen, the same way. So, shame on you. Get creative. Come up with some better street names. Still on the path. And what a path it is. This is the first part of the trail, which I would say is basically hazardous, because it's maybe 6 feet wide, if that, and bicyclists as well as e-bikers can come down this path. So it's not really what I would call safe, but it is what it is, I guess. 6:16, just checked the time, and I'm still on this walking path, which I think I don't know if this is a dormitory or an apartment building or what, but there's basically not much on this side. There's street lights, which haven't come on yet, but even if they were on, I'm not sure if I would feel comfortable walking this part of the footpath at night. Don't know exactly what the logic was putting this footpath in such a kind of a desolate area, I think. So I don't know. This is like maybe the first 2-3 kilometers so far that I've walked from the east end in, and I don't know what to say. I mean, it's basically like a designated route. I wouldn't really call it a footpath because it's taken me through just city streets, basically. Not sure what I was expecting. I know the bike path is elevated. I think I was thinking something more along those lines. I don't know. We'll see how much farther I can go before taking a rest. Apparently this is Software Park, or if it's not Software Park, it's heading towards Software Park, but it feels like it got a lot darker within like 3 minutes. Kind of spooky. Okay, so I'm at the corner of Huzaishanlu and Jinshinlu roads. I'm going to head up this way. I'm going to call it a night for this part of the path. I kind of sort of know where I am, so I think I'm going to head up north and then head back east to the road where I left my e-bike on. Depending on how tired I am, I might get a DD or a cab, but I'm hoping that I can get back there and just have a heck of a walking experience today. But that's it for now. I've done about 3 kilometers, and that's it for this episode of Xiamen Mountain to Sea Walking Path. I saw something that I wanted to comment on. This is something that I just don't understand about China. You saw that very narrow Xiamen mountain to sea footpath, which had a small barrier, and we're on a major street corner here. There's a fence probably around 4 feet high that goes around a corner. It goes around a corner. I have to walk all the way down there in order to cross the street. Yet a footpath that's maybe 6 feet wide doesn't have a decent solid barrier, and anybody can walk, ride their bike, or ride their e-bike, sometimes at high speeds on that path. So not exactly sure why the need for such a big fence, because there's plenty of space to step back from the corner here, but a 6 foot wide walking path barely gets anything. I don't get it. I really don't.